I have enjoyed the study of the book of Jonah, and especially in the fourth chapter, I've just been finding these little nuggets that have just been speaking to me. And one of the things that I read was it said that Jonah had pity on the gourd. In other words, he was sorrowful that he had lost this gourd that had provided this shelter for him. And it took me back in time in my own life. And it reminded me of a time back in the 70s. I was in the Navy at the time and had gone on leave. But I was dating this young lady during this period of time. And so when I came back from my leave, I tried to get in touch with her, but had not been able. So I said, well, I'll just see her at church. So I went to church, got there just a little bit late. And so I walked down the middle aisle of the church, and I see her sitting there in the pew. And between the end of the aisle and her was this young Marine sitting there next to her. And so I gave him a little motion to make a little separation so that I could sit next to this young lady that I was dating. And then he began to make motions for me to just go ahead and cross on over. And we were making these motions of these nonverbal things going on while church was going on. And I was standing there in the middle of the aisle, and I realized that I'm probably going to be bringing attention to myself. So I relented, crossed on over, and sat on the other side of this young lady. Well, when church was over, I said, what's going on here? She said, we need to talk. Well, we all know what that means. And so that afternoon, went by her house, and she began to explain to me what had happened. Of course, somebody had set them up while I was gone. Now she was now dating him instead of me. But then she gave me a reason. She said to me, she said, you are too self-centered. Well, it took me aback. I said, wow. Well, what it did, it caused me to begin to question. Maybe she's right, because I was an enthusiastic young man at the time. Loved being involved in the church and just doing things, and had become a Sunday school teacher and was leading other young people. And it is very, very possible that I had just become very, very full of myself. And perhaps maybe she was right, that I had become self-centered. Well, the reason why I relate this is because Jonah was very, very, very much concerned about himself. The comfort of the gourd. He wanted the preaching to be that the way it had to go the way that he wanted it to go, or he was going to be angry and want to kill himself. Well, that sounds like somebody that's pretty absorbed with themselves. And I think that we could all do a little soul searching to make sure that our emphasis is upon the Lord and not upon ourselves. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.